Dreams. Does everybody dream? And if so, what do you dream? How do you dream? Why do you dream? I'm not a scientist or a doctor, so I can't answer any of those questions with a solid answer. I can only guesstimate. However, there is a significance to dreams, especially when you think about what you're doing in those dreams. How did you get there? Why do most people think that dreams are very real? Why do people have nightmares? Why is it that people can sometimes see in the future in their dreams? Why do people see loved ones that are long and gone and they tell them things and wake up out their dreams and it comes true? Well, I think that dreams are the spirit or the soul of a person, the soul of a person traveling. And I think that dreams are a way that we travel from one dimension to another. Some people dream and don't wake up. That's it for them. They never wake up. Some people have very pleasant dreams all the time. Then there's REM sleep, random access memory, I think. I don't know. There's deep sleep and there's REM sleep. Nonetheless, I believe that we travel in our dreams. I myself have been to different worlds. I've been to different planets. I've been to the same planet twice. I was taken there by outer worldly beings that there were several of them. And they showed me different things like different worlds, different suns. They took me to their planet. They showed me where their planet was in the galaxy and the star systems. And they would come and get me all the time. And they took me to their world. They showed me who their counselors were or their leaders. They showed me that their planet was extraordinary because everything on it was round. Their buildings were round. Everything on it was round. But they were all different beings there. It was very interesting. We had on these space suits, and they would tell me that you're one of us. They told me I had abilities that I can't do here on Earth. But dream after dream, they would come and get me. They showed me these huge spaceships. They also showed me, small spaceships where just two people fit in. One time, me and another one of these individuals was on a spaceship just sitting out in the middle of space, in deep space. Earth was nowhere to be found. And he said, "Here, let me show you where we come from." And he pointed it out into the stars. I can't remember it. It was very interesting. They took me to a planet, and the whole planet was water. There was no Earth at all. It was just nothing but water. And the sky stayed blue. Yeah. I've been to several different places. I've had different nightmares. I've had God show me different things that were so deep and so interesting. And it just hit me a couple of years ago, what was actually happening to my spirit. I was traveling. Now in the Bible, God talks about how there is the death of man and the death of the soul. And God says, and Jesus says, Don't fear man who can only kill the body. Fear God who can kill the body and the soul. When he was saying this, he basically was explaining that when a soul travels, it can still be alive. It can either die or be alive, even if the body dies. He demonstrated this when he healed Lazarus. And he went to Lazarus, who was his friend. There was more than one Lazarus, but the Lazarus that was his friend, he had been dead for days, and Jesus loved Lazarus, so he went and he said, he's not dead. He's just asleep. And then he said, Lazarus, come forth. And he called for Lazarus. And Lazarus woke up after days of being what we consider dead. He did the same thing to the little girl. He said, come forth, and he called her spirit to her, and she stood up. He raised her from the dead. He said she's not dead. So death to us and death to God is two different deaths. There's death of the body and death of the spirit. But the spirit travels through dreams. Even if the body is dead, the spirit can still be alive. That's what I think about dreams. I think if you want to travel to a certain place, you dream about it, and you're there. You can go to good and bad places. I used to have terrible nightmares. I still do. But I had reoccurring nightmares, and then I started controlling my nightmares. I've even had nightmares so vivid that when I woke up, I knew I was still in the nightmare, even though I was, awake. And I've had dreams where I dreamt inside of a dream. I woke up once, I knew I was still dreaming. Nonetheless, there are dimensions. And there are different dimensions. Some preachers talk about dimensions. But there are different dimensions that you can travel through. Some are very dangerous. If you're not with a spiritual guide, you can travel there and be lost there. Even if you're awake, or even if you're just sleeping or taking a nap, you can go into these dimensions. Dreams. Makes you wonder, how many worlds are there if there's 8 billion people on the earth and we all dream? We all dream of a different place, a different planet, a different time, a different instance. If we're all traveling, then there's billions and billions and billions of different planets out there. The scripture says there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. Dreams. Why do we dream?